Namaste, my good friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today is going to be an updated new moon energy report for April 15th and 16th, 2018. I did make a video on this topic a few days ago, but oftentimes, as you might experience yourself, I would imagine, the experiences outside of any kind of astrological alignment, like 4 or 5 days up to a week prior, your experience and how it's affecting you can oftentimes be very different than how you feel and what's going on with you within a day out. I think it's tomorrow, this new moon. You know, when you're closer to it, the game and the experience changes dramatically. And a lot of times leading up to an alignment, there's more of a magnification of the old within you, so that you can make new choices and choose to let go and release some of that. So when the new moon or the full moon or whatever is there, you are more open to the new energy. And the new energy is very different. And I'm excited to get into that because it's far more exciting. And it sounds so cliche, but the primary theme of the new moon, ironically, is new everything, new perspectives, new insights, new projects, new revelations about the nature of yourself and the nature of reality. New information might be coming your way. It's a kind of an exciting time. And that's why I chose to make this additional video, because the game has changed a bit, my friends. So I'll go ahead now and get into it. As I normally do in my videos, I break down the energy into about 4 or 5 different themes, usually 5 exactly if you're a viewer of mine. And that'll help clarify my message and cover the different angles so you can get the most out of what I have to say. Okay, my friends, see you inside. Good to have you here. Hope you're all doing well. Number 1 is you might find, if you do this, that the universe or life itself will help you. It will support you in your endeavor to become that next best version of yourself. What I mean by that is it's not helpful to a human being, to a soul, to be given everything. And a lot of people, as they go through this awakening process, initially, early on, they're highly guided. Everything's kind of laid out for them. And then there comes a time where you feel kind of cut off, and you're maybe a little bit ticked off and indignant, like, what happened? I was getting all these signs, all these cool dreams. It was always kind of obvious that next thing to do, and now I feel kind of clueless. I don't know what to do, and now I need that guidance a lot right now. Where did it go? And it's not that it's gone. It's kind of waiting on you to take a little initiative. And I promise you, if you can take 1 step forward toward your goals, perhaps against the momentum and resistance of your former self as it roars in any inclination that you are trying to change yourself, if you can take that 1 step, then it all comes back. The guidance, the synchronicity, the coincidental unfoldments of your life, it all will support you. But sometimes it's just waiting on you to take that first little step. Number 2. We are at such a greater expanded state of awareness now that from this more awakened state, there can sometimes be, not shocking, that's not the right word, but sort of insights about yourself that take time to digest, that require a bit of time for you to kind of come to terms with. And I'll give an example. And it's not always happening, but it is part of the awakening. The awakening implies more awareness of everything, more of an ability to perceive actual truth. Sometimes the truth hurts though, and I'll give an example. This happened to me several months back in Costa Rica when I was doing these ayahuasca ceremonies. I had this experience during one of the ceremonies where I became very aware that I was exhibiting a certain type of behavior and attitude towards my middle son, Lucas, and it was not a good one. It was a similar sort of thing my father would do to me. And it was just the way it transpired within the ceremony. I was shown how my father treated me and how it affected me. And it was just very wow, that had a very negative impact on me. But as it continued, I realized I was doing that same thing to my beloved young middle son, Lucas, who's 4 years old. And to become aware of that it was hard. Whoa, oh my goodness, I don't want to do that. I don't want to cause any, I don't want to make him feel bad ever at all. I love him so much. And it was hard to see. It was an unpleasant truth to emerge, but I've been changed ever since. I have not done that one time to him. That awareness, though it was a hard pill to swallow, it caused an immediate change in who I was and my attitude, and everything changed from that moment forward. And now I have a much better relationship with him. I don't have to unconsciously perpetuate a negative behavior that I can now see as what was affecting him. So sometimes the awakening can bring about truths like that. And it sounds like a negative thing to report, but that's only if you look at it at first glance. At first glance, oh wow, that's a challenging experience. But what are the implications? What are the changes that ensue inevitably from that greater awareness? So the truth can hurt and sting initially at times, but it's the changes that come along with that should be celebrated. I'm happy if I could have another insight like that pointed out to me in this moment, no matter what it was, I would take it because I know it makes life better, not only for me, but for everybody. Number 3, and this might sound corny, but it's true, inner child healing. I'll give an example. So I noticed my wife and we have been sort of, there's been an ongoing issue within our marriage, nothing serious, but just I would say an unresolved issue between us within our relationship has come up a little bit. It's been kind of playing out in our attitudes and maybe little arguments here and there. And in this case, I suspected that I was the one perpetuating it, quite honestly, I confess. And anyway, it's kind of all playing out in my life, and I happened to look down. It was right there on my counter, but it was this picture of advertisement or something. And it was like, it looked straight up identical to how I looked as when I was a little kid. I had the exact same long hair. At first glance, it almost tripped me out because it looked just like me. And I had the same look in my eyes as I did at that age, sort of just a confused, just, like I was not my pure radiant self in that frame. I was in that picture I was looking at. You could see my wounds or something in my smile. Again, this is my quick little interpretation of this advertisement picture of someone who resembled me, but it was like, it dawned on me in that moment that this issue within your relationship, Victor, is a product of that little child. Your inner child is like, it's not healed in this regard, and it's coming up, it's playing out, and again, the universe is kind of helping me. Random picture of little Victor right in my face, sparking this amazing insight. Say, oh my goodness, that is the root of the circumstance. That is the root. It's not about the surface level manifestation. That sometimes can obscure the truth. But the universe hooked me up with a little snippet of myself. Massive healing. Cutting of this tie that has bound this cycle for our entire relationship. And for that, I am very grateful. So the awakening can kind of blow your mind like that and help you heal your inner child, which might not seem like something people concern themselves with because it seems like detached and abstract. But when you realize that little inner child is sort of at the root of many of your bigger present circumstances in your life, then it becomes a worthy task to undertake. Number 4, I just put down waking up more and contact. Waking up more, meaning sometimes you'll attract to yourself, when you've done a lot of clearing, which we all do from time to time, some kind of practical source of information or reflection that will help the nature of reality and yourself click more with you, essentially. And I'll give an example. I've been doing a lot of purging, like I just confessed here, and I was sitting there yesterday with my daughter watching this TV show called, brain games or mind games. And it was just like giving these little examples of how our visual perception is such a distortion of what actually exists there. And the example it gave is they had these 4 footballs all in like 4 corners, like in a square. And in the background, there are all these like swirling atoms or something. There was movement. And it said, look at the one football. Just stare at one football. And it was talking, you're staring at one football, and you can kind of in your peripheral notice the other footballs, but eventually it said they probably disappeared by now. And it's like, holy shit, they literally did. You could feel them disappear from your vision. Anyways, that's just there's nothing inherent in that. The reason I'm telling you that is because it's an example of how you will attract, again, information into your life that will help like click with you, some aspect that has to do with you gaining more of a clear perspective on things. And that is, for me anyway, in that moment was, wow, relying on my senses and my own human take on what's happening can and oftentimes is a complete inaccurate. It's not usually what's going on. It's not always what's going on. It's not always to be relied upon. There's more to the picture. So maybe that's not going on with you. The second part of this is contact. People are reporting to me, and I'm experiencing myself, just more contact with the non-physical. A lot of people, it's with ETs now. For some reason, they're reaching out to a lot of folks who are open and connected to that whole idea. It's not like that for everybody. It could be just a spirit guide trying to get your attention. You just sense that. It can happen in your own unique ways. Deceased loved ones making their presence known. I always talk about it. It sounds like I'm repeating myself, but it's just happening in waves. There are waves and waves and waves of more thinness, less separation between you and that previously unseen world. And to me, it's extremely exciting. I know a lot of people battle with like the whole notion, is anything really happening? Am I just in my head? But sometimes when you experience stuff like that, it's kind of cool in the moment, but what it really does to your consciousness, it stretches the belief factor so much that you realize just how much more there is to reality, to existence, to yourself. And to me personally, that's just a very exciting feeling. It's a thrilling kind of feeling, just to know that there's just so much to explore and to learn and to experience, and life really is this awesome adventure. And lastly, as I kind of said in the beginning, it's a time of new directions, new projects, new relationships, new information. Got a couple people, one of my friends, Aaron, and my wife's new friend, Barbie. They both have become like die-hard, obsessive fans of this show, Cosmic Disclosure, I think it is, on Gaia. It's a TV all about a lot of cool esoteric stuff. That's not important, but I know the feeling when you connect with a new source of information, whether it be a TV show or whatever, and it's all you can do. My friend we were walking up to this restaurant yesterday, and he had these headphones on. I was like, I bet you're listening to Cosmic Disclosure, aren't you? He's like, yeah, that's all I've been doing. It's like 15 episodes in the past 8 hours. It's fun. It's exciting to reach up and out and stretch beyond the norm and come into something new, a new experience. You might find yourself going in this new direction. I'm gonna go for this, and I'm gonna take on this challenge, become this version of myself, etc. It's an amazing time to do that. You'll be supported. Everything's gonna be kind of in your favor. It's like we're busting out of the darkness and heading into spring, into summer. And it's a fun time, an exciting time to be alive. And it is my sincere hope that you guys are feeling that energy and tapped into that kind of wave of newness, because it's there, it's present, and it's fun, man. Anyways, I hope you guys got something positive out of this message. I truly do, and I wish you all nothing but the best on your path. If you are new to my YouTube channel, I just want to give you another welcome and say it's a pleasure to have you here. And I always share with my fans how much you guys help me. So it really is a joy to see my channel growing so quickly. I do have a gift for all of my new subscribers. It is a free guided meditation that I made myself that has been designed to help people who are going through the spiritual awakening process just find their center, do some releasing, find their balance, and it'll put you in a very good, pleasant, clear state of being. Okay, it was an inspired meditation. I've tried to make others in the past that I thought were a good idea, but they didn't work out. This one kind of came through, and I'm just happy to offer it to you for free. It's in the description box below on most of my videos. With all that said, I hope you guys are all doing well, all my existing fans. It's good to have you here. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I'll be in touch very soon. Namaste.